your mix sucks, and that's a good thing. I've been making music now for about 17 years, from playing bands in high school to doing my own solo music. When I first started out, I paid for studio time to get things recorded. And then after a couple years of doing that, got curious about like, maybe I could just do this for myself. Like maybe I can cut out the middleman and just write, record, and release my own music, because a lot of people I looked up to at the time did that as well. It would save me time, it would save me money. Well, I dabbled in that for a while. I took a ton of courses. I spent countless hours on YouTube trying to learn how to mix. But the truth is, like, I just couldn't understand it for the life of me. There are literally limitless ways to accomplish something, and no way is wrong, because everything is just based on like what you hear. You can't see sound. And that's something that just always kind of stressed me out, because I could never really get an answer to the questions I was asking. And eventually I just got to the point where I realized like, this is just one of those things where I'd be best to hire out to somebody else to get things mixed and mastered, as most people do. And that just permanently became my gospel. To be fair, there's kind of typical confirmation bias on either side of it, for a couple of reasons for not doing it yourself. You don't have to worry about technical parts of how to make something, you just have to worry about the writing. You can help out your friends who do that part for a living, because maybe they have aspirations of doing this as a profession as well. You have more professional ears to help edit your work. You'll get the radio-ready sound that you're looking for. Your skills aren't adequate enough to make it sound how you want it to. You can't be creative and analytical at the same time. Some people can, most people can't. Most people don't have the confidence to do it. You don't have to spend endless amounts of money on mixing plugins and going down that rabbit hole, which I've done many times. It's easy to lose confidence in your work when you're spread too thin and you lack the skills to navigate those decisions. And I think the most common thing that you'll hear is just, that's the way that people have always done it. On the flip side, there are some justifications for doing it yourself. I think a lot of people will mention that like old mixes from the 50s throughout like the 80s and 90s also sound terrible before like the whole hi-fi era. Modern software, especially in 2024, can make a lot of those tough calls for you if you don't know how to navigate them. To other people, your song probably actually sounds decent and they don't really care that much about that extra push that a professional could do for you. You can save money if you have self-control. Being able to have an idea and see it to the end, and see it to fruition, however you imagined it at first, can be a lot more fulfilling. You have more time to accomplish the goal if you need to. Be careful with that one, but time is at your disposal. You can put out your work more often because it's on your own time. Another cool thing is that it's a reflection of your progress. Like one day you can look back and just be proud on the archive of stuff that you've finished. It's yours, and you'll have that to look back on like an old home video. And then I think the most common justification would be that a bad mix won't ruin a good song. A good song wins every time. Now, over the course of the last 17 years of doing the music thing, I bounced back and forth many times with the dream of being able to do the whole process myself. I'd take another course or try a new plugin with the hopes of things finally making sense on the moves that I should make while mixing. And every single time I just end up reaching the same point of giving up in frustration. So I took a little break this year with releasing anything and playing shows to just spend more time reflecting on my music and the process I make with making music. In 2024, things are quite a bit different than they were in the past. We have a lot of artists who actually do their own mixing from start to finish. We are so much more equipped now with tools to help you do that. Sample libraries sound insane these days. Virtual instruments also sound so much better than they used to. It's funny, I shared a demo with a friend recently, and the first thing they said was like, man, it's crazy how much better your demos sound these days in comparison to even like your finished songs 10 years ago, let alone how terrible those demos were. And it really got me thinking and wondering, like, once again, like if there will be a day when I could just do it all myself. In other creative fields, most solo creatives just create and release. Like 99% of YouTubers don't hire colorists. Most photographers retouch their own images. Why can't this be something that's more normal with music? There are so many different trains of thought with that reflection, but like one thing kind of stood out to me, especially with like the whole explosion of lo-fi plugins in the last couple of years. There's a lot more people that are just going for a sound that isn't the same kind of polished thing that we've had the last 20 years. People are just looking for things with more character. In some ways, that does make things feel a little bit more like authentic. So maybe that half terrible mix is my sound. Maybe not having like the perfect balance across my tracks is actually the sound that I've been searching for. Maybe I could actually just be more confident in making music and trusting the outcome. It's a tough pickle, but like after 17 years of creating songs, I actually do think I've subconsciously learned more. I've subconsciously developed an ear for certain things. I've developed a taste for what I like and what I don't like. I now have the tools that are actually intelligent to make all those hard calls for me. I have many tools that have really helped me throughout this process that I didn't have at my disposal like even 5 years ago. So like I might actually make a video of all the tools or plugins that have helped me finish this EP. Leave a comment if you would like to see that. So if you made it this far in this video, you can hear my rambling into action by listening to a track off my latest EP, which I did all by myself. And I've never been able to say that, so that's pretty cool. And my hands have been on it for like the whole process. Like I wrote it, I recorded it, produced it, mixed, mastered, I hired the band to do the shoot, hired a friend to shoot it for me. I edited the video, I colored the video. Here's the song. Thanks for watching.